Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be painting some bookmarks, so let's jump right into it. For today, you're going to need some watercolors, paper towel, a jar of water, some paint brushes, and then if you want to sketch out your design beforehand, you're going to need a pencil and an eraser, and then you're also going to need some watercolor paper. I have mine here, and I already cut it down to size, and then later, if you want to add some string to your bookmark, you're going to need some string of some sort or ribbon, and then a hole puncher. So here are just a few little examples of some that I haven't yet put the string in, and they are so cute. I'll link my Instagram below where I have still shots and pictures of all the bookmarks and all the cards I make. So be sure to check that out afterwards if you want to. But let's get painting our bookmarks. I'm actually going to be gifting them to friends with some other little goodies for the holiday season, which you could too if you wanted to, and then make a really fun gift. To start out, let's just go ahead and do a really simple little bookmark with some ice creams on it like I showed you earlier. I'm going to start out with this brush. It's a size 8 and get it wet, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick the colors for my bookmark. So I'm going to do it really similar to this one. I'm going to put it right there just so I can kind of see it, and then I'm going to mix my colors. So I'm just going to get my pink over here for my pink ice cream, and then I'm going to mix my little mint chip one right here. And I just want, I'll use this color, but make it really light and just water it down a lot. I'm also going to add a little bit of white to it just to make it a little bit more of like a pastel color. We have our pink, our green, and then I'm going to just add a little bit of white to this brown here just to make it a little bit lighter for my chocolate ice cream. Now I'm making my color for the cone of the ice cream. Just going to do this yellowish brown color, and we're pretty much ready to start. So I'm going to rinse out my brush, dry it off so we have a nice clean start, and I'm going to start off with the cones first, and I'm just going to kind of place them around my bookmark. So I'm going to take my color here and make a little bit of like a V shape. I like to keep my cone a little bit rounded. Just gonna bring it down like that and then fill it in with all of the paint, and then we have our little cone. So it's pretty simple shapes like this. You could also add it to a card and it would be a really cute birthday card. I'm gonna do one on the side here. Just kind of like that. Make my rounded kind of V shape, bring it down, and then curve it in. If it's looking a little bit dry, you can add more water to help spread out your paint, and then just fill it in with all of your color. And then I'm going to do my last one up here, make my rounded shape, come across the top, bring it down, and then fill it in. You can get more pigment if you need to. And there we go. There we have our 3 little ice cream cones. There we go. There we have our 3 little ice cream cones. And now we just need to wait a little bit for them to dry so that we can work on the top part. And while it's drying, I'm going to move on to another one. This one, I'm going to do some little oranges. I'm going to take some orange paint and I'm just going to mix it over here. And I'm going to add a little bit of like this yellow and brown just to mute it a little bit. We'll mix in some of that red too. Okay, rinse my brush out just a little bit Then I'm gonna get some green for the leaf over here and the stem. And a little tip is to add brown or purple to your green to make it look a little bit more of a natural green and not so much just like out of the palette. So there we go. There we have our color, and I'm gonna rinse out my brush and then do our little oranges. So I'm gonna take my orange color and I'm just gonna make circles, and they're gonna be really, really simple. So just make a circle and close it all the way. And then you can fill it in just like that. And you can leave a little bit of a white space if you want to, so it has a little bit of like a highlight on one side, or you could also go back in afterwards with like some white paint or one of these gel pens. That can always work too. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more of the pigment and just kind of drop it in a little bit so it has a little bit of a darker side on one. Kind of like that. So there we have our first little orange. I'm gonna rinse out my brush and do my leaf right away so that I get a little bleeding effect. If you don't like the bleeding with your watercolor, then you can just wait for it to dry. But I'm just gonna dab it a little bit so I get that bleed. I don't want it too much though, so I'm gonna pick it up just a little bit and then take my brush and I'm gonna make my leaf shape. So I'm just gonna do a little stem up. I'm gonna do light pressure, heavy pressure, light pressure again, and make my little leaf shape. And you can do two if you would like. Light pressure, heavy pressure, light pressure, light pressure, heavy pressure, light pressure. Just so you have that little leaf shape, and you can just easily create it with two little brush strokes. So there we have our little orange, and I'm gonna fill the whole bookmark with that little design. Okay, now that I've finished most of my oranges, I'm gonna go back in and just for fun, add a few little orange dots just to add like a little bit extra to the bookmark, just here and there, just for something more. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just wanted to add a little bit more to my bookmark so it wasn't as empty. You could fill it with more leaves. You could do little like blossoms or little flowers, or you could just make your oranges bigger, or you could leave it plain, whatever you want to do. But now that I finished that, I'm gonna wait for it to completely dry before I go back in with my white gel pen to add a few more little highlights. But there it is so far. I think it looks really cute. And now let's go ahead and finish our ice cream bookmark. Let's start with our chocolate ice cream first. And I'm probably not going to be able to get the whole ice cream on the top of here because we have the top of the paper. But I do think it's really cute when it runs off the paper a little bit. Now I have my brown color and I'm going to make my little ice cream. So for the top, I'm just going to make it a little bit rounded, kind of like a little circle up here, little rounded shape. And then I'm gonna make the other little rounded shapes kind of like scoops on the side, kind of coming off a little bit. And I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. And then just fill it in. So that way it kind of looks like it's going off the page. I'm also gonna add just a little drip of ice cream, kind of like it's coming off. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of darker pigment at the bottom, just for something interesting and so that you can tell it's a little bit more of like a watercolor kind of vibe to the painting. So next I'm gonna do the pink one, and I'm just going to do the same thing that I did up here and make that rounded shape for the ice cream, and then a little bit more right there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, kind of like it just got scooped and put on to the cone. And there we go. And I'm also going to add some darker paint here at the bottom on that one too. And then rinse out my brush and then do the same thing for the little mint chip ice cream cone that is green, adding some white to my green paint and then making it kind of round and then pushing out the ends a little bit. I kind of like to do a little bit of the circular motion with my brush. And then there we go. There we have our cute little ice cream. So I'm gonna make a little drop coming off of this one too. And then for the pink one, I'm gonna add a little heart on top, kind of like a little cherry. You could make it a cherry if you wanted to, actually. I'm just gonna take my brush, do that, and I'm actually gonna do a little stem, kind of like a cherry. So there we have all our ice cream parts. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a darker color of the color we used for the cone and go in and make some lines like I did on the other one. I'm going to add some yellow to it too, and then use a little bit of water so it's not quite as opaque, and then go in and make the little lines on my cone. So you're just going to make some diagonal lines like this, and then go back and cross them, kind of like that. And it looks really cute. And I'm gonna do the same thing to this one. And then the same thing to the mint chip ice cream. And there we go. Now I'm going to get some dark brown or even like blackish paint and do the little mint chip, the little taco chips on the mint ice cream. So I'm just gonna use the shape of my brush and kind of tap it. I'm gonna do two in here too. The little drop of ice cream. And then there we go. There we have our cute little ice cream bookmark as well. And then now I'm gonna let this dry before I put the little string and punch the holes on it. So I'm gonna take this one and add a little bit of this white gel pen to it, just in the corner, to add a little bit of like a highlight. And there we go. It looks really cute. I'm gonna take my little hole punch and just punch a little hole at the top in both of them, just like that. And there we go. Now they each have a little hole. I'm gonna use my yellow and green string for these. So I'm just gonna unwind it a little bit. Just kind of eyeball the measurement. Go ahead and cut it, and then I just fold it in half like this, put it through the little hole, and then just make a little knot just like that. And there's one. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the yellow, trim it a little bit, fold it, and then go ahead and put it through the hole and make your knot. And there you go. There we have our cute bookmarks. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Hit that post notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos, because I'm going to try and post one every day this month until Christmas. So that will be at 25 videos. And yeah, comment down below which bookmark you liked better, or if you have any more ideas for videos this month. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye!